You step outside for 5 minutes and suddenly the air starts whining around your ears. One bite turns into five, and before you know it, your peaceful garden feels like a battlefield. But what if the secret to a mosquito-free yard is not a spray, not a coil, not a chemical fog, but 5 quiet plants most people walk past every day without realizing what they can actually do? One of them smells amazing at night. One looks like a decorative grass. Another doubles as a kitchen, and one is so pretty you would never guess mosquitoes hate it. Stay with me because number 4 surprises almost everyone, and the last one works best when you plant it near where you actually sit. Welcome to Serene Bloom, a calm space where we turn ordinary yards into peaceful gardens without draining your wallet. If you are new here, you are absolutely welcome. And if you keep coming back, you already know this channel is all about simple, smart garden tips that quietly change everything. Before we go further, take 1 second to like this video and subscribe. It tells YouTube to share calm, helpful garden ideas like this with more people, and it helps you never miss a practical tip that actually works. Now let's step into the garden and talk about 5 plants that make mosquitoes rethink their life choices. Plant 1 is Mexican mint, sometimes called Cuban oregano, and this is one of those plants people grow for cough remedy without realizing mosquitoes can't stand being around it. The leaves are thick, soft, and packed with a strong scent that becomes even more noticeable when the breeze touches it. That scent is exactly what confuses mosquitoes. They rely heavily on smell to find you, and when Mexican mint is nearby, the air becomes crowded with oils that make it harder for them to lock onto your presence. The beautiful part is that this plant does not look aggressive or wild. It sits quietly in pots, along walkways or near windows, doing its job without demanding attention. What makes Mexican mint even more interesting is how low effort it is. You do not need perfect soil, you do not need daily watering, and it actually prefers a little neglect. Just give it sunlight and occasional water and it begins to spread gently, forming a soft green barrier around your sitting area. If you brush your hand lightly across the leaves before you relax outside, the scent becomes stronger, and that simple habit can noticeably reduce mosquito activity around you. It's one of those small garden tricks that feels almost too simple, yet surprisingly effective. Another reason this plant earns its spot on this list is versatility. You can grow it in containers, hang it in baskets, or plant it directly in the ground near doors and patios. Some gardeners even place 2 pots on either side of their outdoor chairs to create a natural scent zone. And because it is also useful for tea and home remedies, you are not just planting for mosquitoes, you are adding a practical plant that earns its space. Quietly, without drama, Mexican mint begins to change how your yard feels in the evening, turning a place full of buzzing into a place you can actually sit and breathe. Plant 2 is scented geranium, and this one surprises people because it looks like a decorative flowering plant, yet mosquitoes avoid it like trouble. Unlike regular geraniums, scented geranium leaves release a soft, lemony fragrance when touched or warmed by the sun. That gentle scent may be pleasant to you, but to mosquitoes it creates confusion in the air, masking the signals that used to find skin. What makes this plant special is that it does not scream mosquito repellent. It blends beautifully into your yard, quietly working in the background while making your space look more alive and colorful. Another thing that makes scented geranium worth planting is how strategic you can be with it. Place it close to sitting areas, near doorways or along paths where people walk often. Every movement around the plant slightly brushes the leaves, releasing more scent into the air. This creates a natural scent cloud that builds gradually instead of overwhelming your garden. Many gardeners notice that mosquitoes tend to hover farther away when several pots are grouped together, especially in the evening when the air becomes still and scent lingers longer. What really wins people over is that scented geranium does not demand too much care. It prefers sunlight, moderate watering, and well-drained soil. You can grow it in containers if space is limited, or plant it directly in the yard to form a soft border. And because the leaves carry fragrance even without flowers, you get mosquito resistance all season, not just when it blooms. It's one of those plants that looks like you planted it for beauty, but secretly it's helping you reclaim your yard from constant buzzing. Plant 3 is lemongrass, but not in the way most people think about it. Many people know lemongrass as a cooking ingredient, yet when you grow it in your yard, it becomes a tall, elegant shield that mosquitoes dislike. The long blades release a fresh citrus scent, especially when the wind moves through them. That scent contains natural compounds that interfere with how mosquitoes locate people. Instead of flying straight toward you, they tend to keep their distance, especially when lemongrass is planted in clusters. It doesn't just repel quietly, it also adds structure to your yard, giving it that calm landscape look. What makes lemongrass particularly effective is placement. If you plant it behind benches, around patios, or near windows, it forms a soft wall of fragrance. The taller it grows, the more breeze it catches, and that means more scent drifting through your sitting area. Some gardeners have even lined 2 or 3 plants together to create a natural barrier, almost like a green curtain. In the evening, when mosquitoes usually become active, that citrus smell hangs lightly in the air and makes the space less inviting for them. It's simple, natural, and surprisingly noticeable over time. Another reason lemongrass deserves this spot is that it gives you more than mosquito control. You can harvest the stalks for tea, soups, or home remedies, making it a plant that earns its space. It grows quickly, tolerates heat, and once established, it requires very little attention. Just occasional watering and trimming keeps it fresh and full. Over time, it transforms an open yard into a layered garden while quietly helping reduce mosquito presence. It's one of those plants that looks like you planted it for beauty, but ends up working like a natural guard around your relaxation space. Quick pause for a second. If you are already seeing plants you did not expect on this list, drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you the most so far. I read those comments and they help shape what we plant together next. And if you are getting value from this, gently tap the like button. It tells YouTube this calm, practical gardening style is worth showing to more people who are tired of mosquitoes taking over their space. Also, if you enjoy simple garden ideas that actually save money, subscribe to Serene Bloom and join this growing community. We are not just planting for beauty here, we are planting with intention. Now keep watching because the next plant looks delicate, almost ornamental, but mosquitoes absolutely hate being around it, and most people plant it without ever realizing its hidden power. Plant 4 is ageratum, often called floss flower, and this one truly looks too gentle to be fighting mosquitoes. The soft clusters of blue, purple, or white blooms give your yard a calm, decorative feel. Yet this plant contains a natural compound that mosquitoes strongly dislike. Instead of relying only on scent, ageratum works by releasing a subtle chemical from its leaves and flowers that makes the surrounding space uncomfortable for mosquitoes. That means you are not just masking your presence, you are actually making the area less appealing for them to linger. It's one of those quiet performers that blends beauty with purpose. What makes ageratum especially useful is how easy it is to place around the yard. Because it stays fairly compact, you can line it along walkways, near seating areas, or in front of larger plants. When grouped together, the effect becomes stronger, creating a low, colorful border that doubles as a protective layer. Many gardeners use it around patios or close to doors where mosquitoes usually try to sneak in. And since it blooms generously, you also attract beneficial insects like butterflies, making your yard feel more alive while still discouraging the ones you do not want. Another reason ageratum deserves attention is that it thrives without fuss. Give it sunlight, light watering, and decent soil, and it keeps producing those soft flowers. It works well in containers too, so even a small yard or balcony can benefit. Over time, it becomes one of those plants guests compliment for its color, not realizing it is quietly helping you reduce mosquito activity. It proves that mosquito control does not have to look harsh or obvious. Sometimes the most peaceful-looking plant is doing the most behind the scenes.
Plant 5 is African blue basil, and this is the one that works best exactly where you relax. It looks like a lush ornamental herb with purple stems and soft green leaves. But the moment the sun warms it, the plant releases a strong aromatic scent that mosquitoes struggle with. Unlike regular basil, African blue basil grows bigger, fuller, and produces more fragrance into the air. That means instead of needing many small plants, one healthy plant can influence a noticeable space around your chair, balcony, or outdoor table. It is quiet, beautiful, and surprisingly powerful. What makes this plant stand out is how active it becomes when you interact with it. Every time you brush past it, trim it, or even when wind moves through the leaves, the scent intensifies. This creates a fresh wave of aroma that pushes mosquitoes farther away from where you are sitting. Many gardeners place one pot directly beside their evening sitting spot and another near the entrance to their yard. Over time, this simple arrangement creates a comfort zone where the buzzing becomes less and less noticeable. It is not instant magic, but the difference builds steadily and feels natural. Another reason African blue basil earns the final spot is that it brings life to your garden while working. Bees love the tiny flowers, the plant grows fast in warm weather, and it thrives in containers or ground soil. Just give it sunlight and regular watering and it keeps expanding, becoming fuller and more effective. And because it looks like a decorative feature, it blends perfectly into any yard style. You end up with a plant that adds beauty, supports pollinators, and quietly helps you reclaim your outdoor space from mosquitoes. It is the kind of plant that makes your yard feel peaceful again without chemicals or noise.
So instead of fighting mosquitoes with smoke, sprays, and constant frustration, you can quietly redesign your yard with plants that naturally make the space less inviting for them. Mexican mint brings that strong herbal scent. Scented geranium adds a soft lemony confusion. Lemongrass forms a gentle, fragrant barrier. Ageratum works behind the scenes with its delicate blooms. And African blue basil protects the exact spot where you love to sit. None of these plants look aggressive. None of them feel out of place. Yet together, they shift the atmosphere of your garden from buzzing and restless to calm and comfortable. Now, I would really love to hear from you. Which of these plants would you actually try first in your yard? Drop it in the comments. And if you already grow one of them, tell us your experience so others can learn from you. Your comments help this community grow, and they also help someone else discover a simple solution they may never have considered. If you found this helpful, gently tap the like button so more garden lovers can find this video without spending money on products that do not last. And if you enjoy calm, practical garden ideas that truly make a difference, subscribe to Serene Bloom and turn on notifications. This channel is all about creating peaceful gardens that work for you, not against your budget. Thanks for spending a few calm minutes here, and until the next video, step outside, plant something meaningful, and let your yard slowly turn into the peaceful space it was meant to be.